Folks, a new $1,400 stimulus check could be arriving soon for millions of Americans. Negotiations on President Biden's new infrastructure package are currently stalled, but it doesn't mean that the stimulus talks are over. After all, President Biden did promise on his campaign trail that he would help out our seniors and bring back the economy. Everybody, if you support a fourth stimulus bill, that includes another stimulus check, as well as a $200 increase in your Social Security benefits, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes.
The chair reminds members that the House is following the guidance of the attending physician who has stated that the present mask requirements and other guidelines remain unchanged in the hall of the House until all members.
Everybody, progressive lawmakers are ready to pull the plug on President Biden's weeks of infrastructure negotiations with the Republican lawmakers. Liberal Democrats are speaking out at an awkward time. That is as Biden's cabinet officials held their latest talks with Senate Republicans today. But many of them have already moved on from the White House's effort at bipartisanship. These Democrats say they are worried that by cutting a deal with Republicans on roads and bridges, they risk losing out on a generational opportunity to expand paid family leave and child tax credits and invest in green energy. So when asked if the Biden administration should keep talking to Republicans about another bipartisan infrastructure deal, a Democratic senator from New York replied, "Absolutely not." Senator Gillibrand says she's 100% in favor of pushing through a multi-trillion-dollar package using the budget reconciliation process. So everybody, tell me in the comments down below, should the Democrats pass another stimulus bill without the help from Republicans? If you support this, then leave a comment down below. Folks, House progressives sent their own warning to House Speaker Nancy Pelosi and to Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer, arguing in a letter that Democrats should pursue a multi-trillion-dollar bill, sweeping Biden's priorities together, noting that an ambitious package combining physical and social investments hand in hand. It is the strongest sign yet that a growing number of liberals are done with trying to cut an infrastructure deal with Republicans that costs around $800 billion at most and kicks other priorities down the road. A Democratic representative also said the Republicans are not even being fair players and we should just move on without them. He dismissed the GOP's $800 billion stimulus bill as a counting gimmick rather than a serious proposal. Folks, I don't know about you, but I just hope our politicians stop playing the political games. They need to focus on the American people instead of focusing on their political parties. And if you guys agree with me, then let's get this video to 1,000 likes. Now, if Tuesday was any indication that Biden and Republicans, and tell me in the comments, everybody, should the Democrats use the budget reconciliation process to pass a massive infrastructure bill? Leave your thoughts in the comments below. The U.S. Department of Treasury just released new spending rules Monday for $350 billion in direct, flexible aid to states, counties, as well as cities. And this was issued as part of the American Rescue Plan Act. According to Forbes, the State and Local Fiscal Recovery Fund notes that local and state governments may use the fund for direct assistance to households and populations facing negative economic impacts due to the crisis. In its final rule, the Treasury Department wrote that cash assistance, grossly exceeding the prior federal stimulus checks of $600 and $1,400, would be outside the scope of eligible uses under the law and could be subject to recoupment. So folks, this is great news. There are already some states that are planning on providing their residents with state stimulus checks. Residents of some states have already received additional stimulus money this spring from their own state. For example, California just issued a $600 payment to households with income below $30,000 and those who missed out on prior federal stimulus funds because they have an individual ITN number instead of a social security number. Maryland, Colorado, and New Mexico also issued payments to taxpayers who met certain requirements. The Treasury Department also specified who might be eligible for financial assistance. But folks, even if your state opts out and doesn't use the cash funding for direct cash assistance, you might have more money coming your way in 2021. Democrats in both the House and Senate are still pushing for additional stimulus payments to Americans like you and I. And folks, I just hope that they increase the Social Security benefits by $200 a month. Everybody, thank you so much for watching, and thank you for being here and watching my videos. I truly appreciate everyone's amazing support. Until next time, have a great day and stay safe.
The grandkids. My plan also modernizes Social Security so it better reflects the work of women and people of color, and it gives them the higher Social Security benefits they deserve. It gives people credit toward higher Social Security benefits for taking time out of the workforce
or medical expertise. when Secretary Becerra did have experience was trying to impose a far-left social agenda. He fought and fought in federal court to make religious nonprofits pay for things that violate their conscience until he finally got creamed in the Supreme Court by a ruling that was 7-2. Before that, he had fought and fought to force crisis pregnancy centers to advertise abortion, trying to coerce a certain kind of left-wing speech out of private groups. The Supreme Court slapped him down then as well. That was the resume Secretary Becerra brought to his current position. Last week, in a hearing before the House Energy and Commerce Committee, the Secretary either forgot about the federal law on abortion or revealed that he just doesn't care what's on the books. When a member of Congress used the common term partial birth abortion, the Secretary coyly suggested he didn't know what that meant. He tried to get the congressman to use a more clinical verbiage that helps the far left conceal this grotesque subject. And then when pressed, Secretary Becerra claimed, quote, "There is no law that deals specifically with the term partial birth abortion." Well, the Secretary may wish that were the case, but it isn't. That's completely false. U.S. Code, Title 18, Section 1531 is the federal ban on partial birth abortions. It uses that exact term 7 times. It defines the banned practice in all its barbaric detail. Back in 2003, I was proud to join with almost 2/3 of the Senate when we passed this mainstream law. Our federal ban on this awful procedure remains widely popular with the American people. It is the bare minimum. Yet President Biden's HHS secretary is either ignorant of the federal law or wants to pretend that it actually doesn't exist. Remember, the far left has kept America one of just 7 countries, in the world that allow elective abortions on demand after 20 weeks. Countries across Europe, France, Spain, Germany, Norway, and Denmark all limit elective abortion before 20 weeks. The far left wants America to be an outlier on the global fringe. And President Biden's HHS secretary either doesn't know or won't admit that the phrase partial birth abortion even appears in federal law.